It's Anthony Trucks, founder of Trust Your Hustle, author of Trust Your Hustle, A Life Forged by Fire, and welcome to Monday Lift. It's actually the first one. It's Monday, October 13th, and I want to thank you, man. I want to thank you genuinely for being here because, well, you're here. It's something that I think is very, very cool because I want to go out and spread a unique message to the world, and this is one of the ways I'm going to do it. And I can't think of a better way to start than simply spreading a really cool message. And so, a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. This will come out every Monday, like clockwork, until I can't talk anymore, hopefully, or something drastic changes in my life or my world. But reality is I want to be able to provide you guys with some kind of a pump up on Monday to get your life going, a small, simple message that's quick to the point and can go forward. Sometimes I'll have some guest speakers, sometimes I'll have some people I'll interview, but most of the time it'll just be me. So you're stuck with me. Sucks to be you, I guess. But I want to get right into it. Have you ever wanted something that you started working towards but never actually finished the goal? I mean, something you started picking yourself up and then started moving forward, whether it's I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get a new job, I'm going to finish this project, whatever it is, and you get the ball going, but you never get to it. It's some big lofty goal you have, but you keep falling short of it. And if that's the case, then that's where I think this message will hit you well today. Because for me, that has happened. I mean, it's happened many times in my life where I've had this big goal of things I wanted, and I would go after them a little bit, but never really put the work in to get there. I mean, that's just the honest portion of it. And I remember as a kid, I wanted this stereo. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't have much money, and I remember I had to get a paper route. That was my way of making money to get things. And so I remember with my paper, I was able to purchase some roller blades. I was able to purchase a BMX bike, a TV, all these little cool things. And I had this one lofty idea I wanted. I wanted this new stereo. Now, back then, the stereos, they had like 4 or 5 different tiers. And it was, if you wanted like what you can find in an iPod nowadays, it had like this 5 foot tall by 3 foot wide, base, and had all these different things. And you could have the equalizer, the CD player, the disc player, all this stuff, right? But it was cool. And I mean, I wanted this thing, but it was going to cost about $800. I mean, $800 now is a lot of money. You can imagine what it was back then to a 14-year-old kid. But I said, I'm going to get that. I promised myself I'm going to get that. And so I started working towards it. I'd never actually get it. Like, to this day, I never got that stereo. And I look back on that time and remember there was, people's house I would go to a friend's and I'd be envious. I wanted that. And they didn't deserve that. They didn't, just whatever. I had these excuses in my head. And then I got to a point where I started thinking, I don't even want that thing. I don't even need that. I made an excuse for myself who I was not putting the effort in to get what it is I actually wanted. Like I was creating some dumb reason. And what I started finding out was there are people who want things. And this was me back then. I wanted something, but I would sit on the sideline and watch everybody else achieve it. And then I would be asking myself reasons why I didn't. I'd make up dumb ones. I'd make up stupid excuses of why I couldn't get it or why I wasn't getting it. And I would even go the route of demeaning the other person, make it, oh, you're not worthy of that. You don't deserve that, whatever it was. But in reality, they deserved it. They had it, but I wanted it. And I was making a dumb excuse as to why I didn't want it now, right? It was just a childish thing. But I find that adults do this too. I find that people in different levels of life do the exact same thing. In the sports world that I lived in for so many years, as an athlete, I would step back at times and say, well, why is that guy starting? I'm faster than him. I can lift more weight. I can run. I can do all these things, right? But I didn't put the same time into the playbook to learn my plays. So I didn't deserve to play. You can think about a person as a coworker. You got this person at work. You think, hey, in your mind now, think of the brown noser. The person who's always brown nosing, right? They're kissing butt and whatever, right? That person exists. But the truth of the matter is, if you step back, sometimes that person, you see them successful. I mean, at certain points in life, they're doing things and people, they make fun of them. In reality, that person went out of their way to do the uncomfortable thing to do more. And they got what they wanted. But you're going to sit back on the sideline and make fun of them? See, this happens every single day. It happened in my business. When I first started my business, I got to the point where I was looking at other people's businesses and saying, well, I have a better background as a gym owner. I've played professional sports. I have a degree. I've trained high-level athletes. I'm way better. Why do they have more clients? They're not good enough to have that. And then I got to step back and see, well, maybe they structured their gym better. Maybe they marketed better. Maybe they budgeted better. Maybe they planned better. Maybe they treated people better with customer service. Whatever it was, there was these other intangible effort things that needed to have work done, and I wasn't doing them. So I would bag on them and make them, they're not that good, they're not that great, when the reality was they were doing better than me. I had all the tools and the talent to do it, but they were doing better than me, and they deserved what they had. And so I get to the point where I step back and I switch it. I said, you know what? I just want to be the person that works. I want to be the person that earns whatever it is. Because I find that for me, all the watching and the criticizing I was doing didn't get to the point where a light bulb came on. And the light bulb is you're in the presence of great, but you're oblivious to it. You're sitting there watching somebody at work or someone in the field. Maybe someone's taken the first string spot and you don't think they're good enough, but look at them work. Look at the person at work put effort in. Are you putting effort into your career and your business? And so the light bulb has to come on. You have to say, I am in the presence of somebody doing great. I better take notes. When you start taking notes, you start applying those notes, you start becoming this different person who takes the skills you have, the talent you have, and you put it in a new echelon. You push yourself up, you lift your life. And that's the idea, lift. See, lift is what gives you life inside for triumph, what drives you to do better. You find that, you push forward, you can then accomplish things you want by putting in the work. You know, it's just the nature of it. I remember a story that it was a hard-hitting one for me and taught me a real cool lesson about, you know, being a person who coulda, shoulda, woulda. A person stands on the sideline and makes excuses. And I remember when I first opened my gym, and about the first year of opening it, a former teammate of mine who went to my high school had came in the gym. Now, back in the day, I'll be honest, he was a faster guy. He was a, all-around better, physical, talented athlete. But he made this statement. He says, well, I could have been at the NFL. I could have played the level. I just didn't feel like doing. I didn't put the work in. I didn't really care that much. I wanted to get a different job. I don't want to be in that spotlight. Like, he started making excuses as to why he didn't get to the level I got to. And then he went in to start making fun of me. See, the way he made fun of me was he literally was recalling times at which after practices, he says, man, back in the day, Trucks, you were a nerd, bro. He says, man, you used to go into the weight room afterwards and go get your homework done. Like, you just did all nerdy stuff. We were out partying, hanging out. And for me, I was like, man, this guy, in my head, I'm thinking this guy is now making fun of the work I put in to get to the level I got while he's standing in my gym. He was standing in the place where all that hard work and effort had been applied to create a business that he was now in, making statements about how he woulda, coulda, shoulda. So for me, my question to you is, are you standing in the presence of greatness and oblivious to it like him? Are you standing in the presence of somebody doing somebody, it could be a mom, a dad, a spouse, a coworker, a teammate? Are you standing in the presence of a person who is giving you a visual way to be great, to do things, to get yourself to a new level, and you're just not seeing it? Because if that's the case today, I want you to turn around and stop that. Like, I want you to seriously look at the person that you may make fun of at different times. You may look at with some weird eyes sometimes, make dumb, derogatory statements. If you're teasing somebody, stop and think, why am I teasing this person? Am I teasing this person doing well, but I want to do well myself? Because if that's the case, the ego's got to be removed. You got to step in and approach that person and say, hey, you know what? I see you doing well. It takes a lot of pride. I get this. But you got to approach the person and say, I see you doing well. I want to emulate parts of what you do. I don't want to be you, but I want to apply a similar kind of effort, because if I get that effort put in, the success comes from it. And that's where I got to the quote for the day, the concept I want you to pull away from. It's a quote that I love, that I've lived by. And what it is essentially is there are two types of people in this world. There are those that work, and there are those that watch them work. I don't mind the audience. You see, for me, what that means essentially is there are two different people. That one's going to put the effort in, one's going to put the work in, all that time is going to be spent building up to get to some goal. The other person is going to watch them do it and just stand back with their arms crossed, leaned up against the wall, and never make the progress, never make the effort. They're going to be there watching that person achieve so much, and in the back of their mind make reasons and excuses as to why they're not there. So are you a person who is on stage being watched, or are you in the audience? Ask yourself that today. If you're listening to this right now, ask yourself, am I on stage or in the audience? Because if you are in the audience never goes anywhere. You sit there and you watch, and you'll watch forever until you decide to get up out of your seat, walk down the aisle, and get up on that stage yourself and start putting that effort in. So again, it's Anthony Trucks, man. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I hope this message helped you today. I hope it gave you some kind of a new perspective, a new nugget of information, something that opened your eyes to something you can change in your own life to have a better life. Because if you're on this earth and you're not doing what you can to get your life to a version of your own greatness, your version of greatness, whatever it may be, then you're wasting the days. And I believe that we should never waste these days, because we do not know how many we have left. I want to let you guys know that I have a book coming out November 3rd. It is called Trust Your Hustle, A Life Forged by Fire. It is the recount of my life. If you watch the video of my life, this is it, but it's all the deep stuff. It's the things that I had to drive away and actually record or write down for a week by myself because it was really, really hard to actually put out. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you pick it up. And when you get a chance, go ahead and follow my Instagram, my Facebook. It's Anthony Trucks and all of these different things. And keep in touch with me, man. If you get a chance, also go to anthonytrucks.com to contact me. You can log in, put your email in. You'll get all these podcasts and the Hump Day Hustle videos that are coming. All the picture quotes will be sent to you in email every Friday like clockwork because I want you guys to be able to get some great information to change your life. So again, I just want everybody always remember that you can trust your hustle to live an unexpected life.